Hello, YouTube and viewers beyond. Welcome to episode numero uno of the Triple Double Podcast. My name is Ashanti Lee Sebron, and I am alongside Romero Hardy Jr. and Rome. I'm actually really excited for this, bro. We've been talking about this since over the summer, really, and this episode is so big. What are your expectations for this show? I'm getting your take on it first, my man.
Well, it's been a long time coming, man. When you first came to me this summertime and said you wanted to do it, I was super excited. I know how much we both love the NBA. I know how much we both watch the sport of basketball, college, whatever. So I'm just excited to hear your takes every week. Go back and forth and have a little fun.
You know, knowing you at Michigan State and knowing the passion you had for basketball, I know myself and I knew you. I understood that you were probably the only option to ask, undoubtedly the best option to ask for this show. So God bless you for helping me out and being a part of this show. And let's make this show something special, man. I'm really looking forward to this. But let's jump right into it. The NBA season is upon us right now, Rome. And I mean, the biggest story going on right now is the Lakers-Rockets game. Rockets winning last night, 124-115, defeating the Lakers in Los Angeles. LeBron's home debut at Staples Center. And despite all the amazing play, I mean, the big story is the physical altercation that occurred last night. So, Rome, you being the Lakers guy that you are, I'm going to give you first crack at it. What was your take on what transpired last night?
Well, for me, who would have ever seen this coming? Who would have ever seen this coming in just the league, period? I mean, everyone wants to talk about how guys are soft these days and how guys don't react. What we saw last night, that was real.
Yeah.
That was real. And when the game first started, I looked at my friend, I said, there's so many storylines in this game. If I was in the press box, if I was a journalist and I had a deadline, I mean, what's your storyline? Is it LeBron's home opener? Obviously that.
Absolutely.
You have James Harden coming back home. You have the young baby Lakers. There's just so many different angles to go in. And I just feel bad for everyone that had a story because that happened with 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, your story was done. And then boom, chaos happens.
It was a close. I mean, even at the end of the game, it was a close game too. I mean, in terms of what happened, it's more so this. Brandon Ingram instigated the entire thing. You know, I mean, him shoving James Harden out of the way unnecessarily was one thing, but I mean, to get in the referee's face, to me, I was thinking to myself, this is a crazy brother. You know, because, the foul he had on him wasn't that hard of a foul. It was, honest truth, being a Detroit kid in Rome, I don't know if you had the same emotion too. It brought up memories of Malice in the Palace. You know, I mean, it brought up memories of a not so hard foul from Ron Artest on Ben Wallace and that delving into a horrendous occasion. Now, I'm not trying to compare this to that in no way, shape, or form. But, I mean, for Brandon Ingram to lose his cool over a minuscule hack in the air, I didn't see any point in that. In terms of Chris Paul and Rondo going forth, I'll let you go. But, I mean, I'll give my small piece on that.
We can talk about the Rondo and Chris Paul thing in a minute. But the Ingram thing, I agree. He messed up. I think that it shouldn't have happened. I think at that time in the game, I mean, they were on the verge of coming back, and it was about to be a game. Last 3 minutes, 3:30. That's kind of the most important time in the basketball game. My problem is this, and this is where I feel Brandon Ingram on. James Harden is a very tough guy to defend.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to defend him.
Yeah.
He travels. He pushes off. All these things. I mean, he does a step back. This is hard to defend.
Oh, absolutely.
So a couple things in this.
He'll break somebody's ankles.
A couple things in that play. James Harden had pushed off. He was doing it all game. He gets frustrated. Brandon Ingram just got mad. Should he have pushed him? No. But I get what it was. It was one of those things where James walked by. He was just like, "Come on, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it." Now, that was one thing. And then getting in the ref space, I also didn't agree. But I feel like he's in the organization where they're going to talk to him. Magic's going to talk to him. Brown's going to talk to him. Kobe might come in and talk to him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ron's going to talk to him. I mean,
well, Magic and Pelinka are going to be, at this moment, at least by now, Magic and Pelinka have contacted Ingram and Rondo to calm this down because
I'll put it this way. I don't think the organization is overreacting like the fans is. I think they have their guys' back. I put it that way.
Absolutely.
I think, as much as B.I. is in the wrong, especially with running up and trying to hit Chris Paul after the fact, I think Ingram needs to sit down a little bit.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, that's their guy. You know what I'm saying? And I was going to turn him back on one of those players.
Well, LeBron James, I've been hearing comparisons all week about, Ingram could be LeBron's Pippen. He could be that secondary star player to propel them to championships. But, with attitudes like, and it's crazy because even the announcers made note of it, Ingram's usually a mild-mannered guy. He's usually a calm guy. Yeah. He's not, he's not the type of guy who will lose his cool, especially over some bullcrap light hack in the air like that. That's ridiculous.
There's guys like that you have to watch out for. There's guys like that they just get...
the silent types?
Yeah, it fills up, you know what I'm saying? And I come from a place where you watch out for the most quiet person in the room. You don't watch out for the guy that's talking.
That's true.
The loudest person.
I understand that. But moving on to what I was trying to get into, the Rondo CP3 issue. Absolutely. Here come the fisticuffs. Floyd Mayweather. So, Rome, I'll once again start with you on this. Who is in the wrong on that and why?
So I'm seeing a lot of things come out about this play. I'm seeing a lot of storylines. I'm seeing a lot of things being said from both sides of both teams and both players. I'm just going to say this. I didn't see Rondo do any spitting. And until I see that, we can have that conversation.
Right.
Chris Paul.
Well, okay, go on.
As a man, don't you ever put your hand in my face and wish me.
Thank you. Because
at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And then for Rondo, I'm going to throw this out there because I don't know if you heard it yet. But Rondo says he was wearing a mouth guard, which he always does, and he was wearing last night. You know how hard it is to even talk with the mouth guard? And those guys take it out just to talk, then they put it back in. They call the play and take it out. They call the play and they put it back in, right?
Right.
So how can a guy spit with the mouth guard in? Like, you know what I'm saying? Project it out to you purposely. It's kind of hard.
Right.
I don't know until I see a video of that. Chris Paul was in the wrong, and that's the president of the Players Association.
I understand the mouth guard thing, and because I've seen a video on Twitter mentioning with close up bird's eye view of I guess saliva leaving Rondo's mouth and touching Chris Paul's face. So if that's what Chris Paul,
when they're jawing back and forth and talking,
if that's what Chris Paul was upset about, that's one thing, right? But if you're talking about the mouth guard situation and that being a factor more so, it's I agree with you. I think Chris Paul was the bigger bully in this because I'm with you, regardless of where you grow up, no one's gonna, no man shouldn't let another person put a finger in their face like that. That is the ultimate sign of disrespect. That is the ultimate sign of just ludicrousy. And Chris Paul, for a while, Chris Paul is not a liked individual in the NBA.
Well,
I'll make that clear. He has multiple players in this league who would gladly take his head off for nothing more.
They haven't liked each other for years.
Absolutely.
Because they have not liked each other. And we're looking at two guys that are very competitive.
Right.
Two cerebral point guards that think. They analyze it. We're talking about two, like Rondo, whatever. Rondo is one of the greatest point guards to play the game.
Absolutely.
Especially
of this generation, especially,
hot take or not, in the past 10 years, Rondo's up there high on the list, baby. And this is coming from a Lakers fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't know, Rome. Might be a crazy situation.
I think at the end of the day, make the NBA fun again. I'm happy to see where the game is going. I mean, you have all these guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, we heard it. We heard it all season when the guys have little scuffles. We hear the old heads say, "Oh, they're soft."
Well, I will say that this is the most.
Going to react, and they're just doing it for the show and the TV. No, last night that wasn't just no LA Hollywood stuff. That was real deal Holyfield. I know there was a lot of stars. Travis Scott was there. Floyd was there.
Kiki Vanderway, the NBA director who hands out punishments, was in the 10th row.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a beautiful seat to all of the melee. And I will say this: out of all the scuffles that have happened in recent memory, this is probably the biggest since the Garnett Humphries fight in 2013. Or maybe even the Draymond scuffle last season, which he got his jersey torn off.
This takes the cake.
Yeah, this one was very public and
Rondo hit him with the left jab.
Very visual, you know.
Rondo hit him with the left jab, and it's all over Instagram. Rondo hit him with.
Oh Lord.
Chris Paul also got in a nice uppercut, though. I'm not gonna lie. Chris Paul, if you watch the video closely, Chris Paul got in a nice little right uppercut hook. But,
UFC, we're coming for you. Heading back to the Triple Double Podcast, going on to our second top, which Kawhi Leonard on the Toronto Raptors roam. The Raptors currently stand at 3-0, 3 wins, 0 losses. This summer was a nightmare for Kawhi Leonard, more so I'll say him leaving the Spurs and joining the Raptors. I'll start off with this one. All this talk about him potentially leaving the team next season has surprisingly died down. If I were to go with my gut, I think Kawhi stays. Because the Toronto fan base is so amazing. And I understand a lot of players have problems with playing there due to the visas and things of that nature, but the Raptors, they're in the Eastern Conference, weaker conference. The only real competition is Boston and Philadelphia if Markelle Fultz develops. The Bucks aren't there yet. The Pacers aren't good enough. The Pistons have a long way to go. Miami's not going to be there. So it's only you and the Celtics, really. I think this is a perfect situation for Kawhi. It's beautiful. How do you you end up in the weaker conference. You only have one real rival, and Lord knows where their head's going to be at. But Rome, what's your opinion on this, my brother? I don't see a better situation for him.
Real quick, I would not say Milwaukee's not there yet.
They're close, but they're not.
It's 1 week in the NBA season, I know, but they also are right behind Toronto.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
They haven't played 3 games yet, but they're 2-0.
Fair enough.
And they also got a guy named Giannis who's basically 7-1 running point guard. So
yeah.
But no. I think I love Kawhi with the Raptors. I'm loving the fit plan. I think he's kind of getting back to the old San Antonio Kawhi ways. He's playing both sides of the floor very well.
That's very important to mention.
Playing defense extremely well. Put the offense to the side right now. Look at his defense. Look at what he's been doing and how active he is on the floor. So I think he's obviously healthy. I think that he's been healthy for a while now.
Absolutely. Well, absolutely.
I think we just kind of. It's kind of just obviously proves that.
Let's. I'm sorry to cut you off, but let's just cut through that old slice of bread right now. Kawhi Leonard has probably been ready to play since the last month of last season. But with all of the drama and negativity coming out of the Spurs last season, he didn't want to be there anymore. I don't blame him.
He was probably healthy the whole year, honestly.
Well, no, come on, man.
I think it was just it was really just him not wanting to play there.
It's that, but so you don't believe he was hurt at all.
You probably hurt at some point, but I think for the most part, he could have played at any point in the season.
No, man,
We didn't even know. We didn't even know what his injury was. Did you know what his injury was?
It was a thigh injury. His legs.
All we know is a lower body injury. We don't know anything about it. We don't know if it was a break, a sprain, a tear, a muscle. Yeah, I have no idea what happened to him. But look, he's got. Point is, he's playing like old Kawhi.
Yes.
He's playing.
Yes.
And I'm liking how active he's been. I think he's a good fit with them for now. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's early. They're still gelling. They haven't had any real tests yet. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. They played Boston. What was it, earlier this week?
Yes.
And I think that was a good showing to see. It was a little bit of their first test. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I love? You know what I love from Toronto fans too is how, I mean, Leonard's name has been dragged through the mud ever since the fall of last year, really, with the injury and the Spurs and all that, and how the Raptors fans welcomed him with the, how they have the opening home game and they have the introduction for the players. They welcomed him like he was old school Vince Carter. I mean, the reaction from the crowds on that opening game was amazing. That really for me made me feel like if he does this for 82 games, 41 games home, he's gonna stay there.
Well, there's another guy that's over in Toronto that we're not talking about that can help him stay too, and that's a guy by the name of Aubrey Drake Graham, who has a lot of stardom and pull in that city.
Yes, he does.
I mean, look, Drake can make a lot of people stay.
But let's be real. Leonard's not that type of cat. Leonard's not the type of guy to be, who cares about that.
He's on payroll. I'm just saying, Drake's on payroll with the staff of the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
He does have a position with them, so I think I'm just saying.
Right.
He can show him around in town, make him feel well, do little things and subtle things to help him stay. Is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I mean,
outside the box.
I mean, I don't.
For dinner, you know what I'm saying? Drake is such a personable guy. They can get to know each other on a different level to the point where Kawhi sees the city of Toronto differently.
Yes, that's my goal. That's my thought. Because I don't. When he first got traded there, the story was, oh, he's gonna be gone next year. It's a horrible move for the Raptors. Why'd they trade away DeRozan and Lowry? LeBron's finally gone. They finally have a shot. I'm saying like this, and I use Paul George going to OKC as a perfect example. Everyone thought that was a bad move for Paul George, and for OKC, he's going to the Lakers. It's a rental. OKC had a year worth of recruitment, a year, and look what the result was. He re-signs with them, long-term deal. So I think history.
I think PG-13 was a little scared. I'm not gonna lie, but
of the LA shine.
I think this.
How so?
I think there was a lot of factors where it deterred him away from going there. And maybe part of it's the shine. I think he could have got over that, but I think it's just really ultimately playing with Rod. I mean, I'm not trying to.
No. I mean, it's a valid point, and I understand. Because I hear a lot of these analysts talk about, how come not analysts more so, but these so-called fans, how come LeBron can't attract free agents? LeBron is a very, very polarizing figure in the NBA. He's a very intimidating, because if you lose, it's only so much of the blame that will fall on him nowadays. It's going to be you too.
I wouldn't say it's not about him not getting free agents. I think it's about him not getting the free agents that the fans of those teams wanted.
Yeah.
I think just in the case of the Lakers right now, it's not really just Bron doing recruiting. It's Magic.
Yeah.
It's Magic, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Magic's the one who got LeBron there.
This is a guy who cracks a smile, and you smile just because he's smiling.
Right.
I mean, like, we're talking about Magic, baby.
Yeah.
He says hello, and you're like, okay, I'm sold. So, I think it'll be different. It's, like I said, it's a multiple year process, and I think that they were okay with not getting nor Kawhi or Paul George to bring it back into Kawhi Leonard's case.
Right.
I think that they were fine with both of those guys are. I think Kawhi is kind of fine with where he is.
Yes.
Right now, I think he's starting to get, rolling in it. And like you said, they have a full year. And honestly, if he was to leave this summer, I don't think really there's a good fit for him outside of Toronto right now.
Yeah. I mean, I hear the Lakers throwing around. That would be okay.
As a fan, I'm sorry.
I'm
okay. I'm not gonna turn him down. Obviously. Look,
no, you wouldn't turn him down. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
But no. He wouldn't even fit the system. I mean, you would have to literally clear up a lot of those run and gun young guys. I mean, Kawhi's not about to get out there and run back and forth. He's not.
I think you're right. I don't know if there is a really amazing fit.
Exactly.
With Kawhi. Other than the Clippers, who are just
another superstar left, and then they found a team together. But I think, the way these teams are pretty much set up, I don't see a solid fit for him.
I don't know.
I mean, I like right now where he's at right now. I think Kyle Lowry is a good point guard for him.
Yeah.
I think they are going to get better as the season goes on.
Yes, together. And their only competition is Boston. I mean, because Philadelphia, to me, they have the talent. It's just the mentality's not there.
Well, the Pistons and the Cavs had a little preseason game at the Breslin about a week ago. And I went there, and I had a chance to interview a couple guys on the Pistons team. And I talked to Ishmael about the competitiveness of the East with Bron being gone, and how people are saying that it is weak, and there only is one team. And you want to know what Ishmael had to say?
What?
A lot of guys in the East I'm talking right now, it's about to be the opposite of what people are saying. It's about to be even more competitive because Bron's not there.
I can see that.
There is no. Yeah, you can say this team is it, but I mean, like, really every night in, night out, matchups are there.
Yeah.
Matchups are there in the East. It's just not fairy tale. It's not, Showtime, prime time matchups. But if you're a basketball fan, the matchups are there. It's going to be very competitive in the East.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a 3-14 race for one, to be honest. Once the season starts rolling, Philly is going to get better. Milwaukee is going to get better. Boston and Toronto are already there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have it's going to be a race.
And we're not even talking about if Miami pulls off this Butler deal.
It's a race. A race.
In Dwayne Wade's song season, but it's
Charlotte, it's a race. Look, Charlotte.
Woo, Charlotte. I don't understand this love affection with Charlotte.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to be right on something once in my life. I just want to predict something once in my life.
God bless, brother. Back on the Triple Double podcast, our next topic, talking about Kyrie Irving in the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics situation. The Celtics defeating the Knicks earlier this week. Rome, I'll start with you on this one with all the news of next summer with Kyrie Irving potentially leaving. Do you think, in the end, he'll remain in Boston or he'll go to a team like the Knicks?
Well, I don't know if you recall. I know our listeners out there aren't going to hear this, but me and you did a little secret behind-the-scenes practice show, the Triple Double podcast.
Absolutely.
And I said that, there was a little birdie rumors floating around that Jimmy Butler and Kyrie wanted to play together.
Yes.
And remember I said that one of their destinations was New York.
Yes.
So this story's kind of been happening and forming since the summertime. They kind of throwing that out there. What he said in that little media day with the Boston Celtics is saying how he want to come back if they'll allow him. That kind of changed my little tone about it. I don't know if he'll leave, but I had a question for you.
Yes.
Is Kyrie the best player on the Celtics right now?
Ooh. He's, I think at the moment, it's a tie. It's him and Tatum. And the Jason Tatum, speaking for myself, he has had one of the most impressive rookie years I've seen in my years watching the NBA. I mean, I other than, and I'm not trying to compare him to LeBron, but other than LeBron's rookie year and I guess his first 2 years in the league, in terms of just impressiveness, talent, intensity, he has everything. Shooting touch, he has everything. Not to mention, he's playing in arguably the most historically storied franchise in NBA history. And I mean, his cast, he's not on some lottery-bound team. He's on a contender in the weaker conference. I mean, Jason Tatum is really shocking me. I think at the moment,
The rising star.
He's a rising star, but I think his rise is at the same level as Irving right now. I think it's that close.
For sure.
Because I think by the end of the season, he'll be the focal point of the entire team. And that's ridiculous. That's amazing ridiculous.
The reason why I asked you that question is because that's something I've been struggling with since last year, really. I mean, even when Gordon Hayward went down, as soon as Hayward went down, Jason Tatum instantly stepped into that role.
Yes.
Rookie season, stepped into that role. All the talk was around Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, but there was a guy named Jason Tatum in the East, just as good.
Yes, just as good. Thank you for saying that. Just as good.
Doing just as good. And you know what I'm saying? So he is just right there. And he was playing side by side with Kyrie.
Yeah.
And Kyrie was deferring and giving him the ball. And then what he did in the playoffs, I mean.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Without Kyrie and without Gordon Hayward. So then, my biggest question going into the season was who was going to be that guy. And clearly in the first, 2 games, 3? Where we at with it? The first 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games, I think.
Jason Tatum is by far the best player on the team.
I think it's close. He is up there. And my thing with Jason Tatum is this. My thing with Jason Tatum is this. I mean, I can see him being a lifer in Boston. And that's amazing in and of itself.
He didn't go 0 for 10 in the first half of the first game either. That was Kyrie.
That's true. First game, Kyrie had a horrible start.
And then really, I don't think he hit a field goal to the third quarter with 4 or 5 minutes left. So, yeah, for me, just personally, in the first 3 games, yeah, I think the best player is Jason Tatum.
You know, it's
obviously the better superstar and all that.
Well, no, listen, Jason Tatum's on his way to being a superstar.
Yeah,
I'll say it now. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm very confident in saying that. Barring any major injury, Jason Tatum's on the way to being a superstar in this league for the Boston Celtics. I mean, Danny Ainge is the best GM of, I don't want to say of all time, but he's certainly top 5.
Whoa.
He's certainly up. I didn't say of all time. I said top 5. He's definitely up there. I mean, how he has rebounded from the end of the Big 3 in, say, 2012 to 2019, the Celtics are still there. Incredible. And Jason Tatum, yeah, I'm with you. He's the focal point of the future. Because Irving is a player who's in the present a star. Jason Tatum's best years are still in front of him.
I haven't even happened yet.
That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing about Jason Tatum, and that's why at the moment it's a tie. By the end of this season, Jason Tatum, I'm with you on your boat. Jason Tatum is by and large the best player on Boston.
Well, see, at the end of the season, I might even change my mind because I think Kyrie gets better at the end of the season. Yeah, I think Kyrie is just trying to find the sea legs again. And trying to play ball again. But Kyrie's also trying to figure out how to get his guys involved and still be Kyrie once was as well.
You know what I think about Kyrie, Rome?
What?
I think he's already hit his peak.
Oh man,
I don't think he's getting any better. I think this is as good as he'll be because it is a hot take. Absolutely, and it's my opinion because my thing with Kyrie is this: he's had some knee injuries. It's not Derrick Rose level knee injuries, but it's some knee injuries that have cost him finals games in the past, have cost him seasons, cost him last season as well. So yeah, playoffs last year, those add up, and Father Time is undefeated. I mean, and I love.
It's about
Hear me out. Hear me out, brother. Hear me out, brother. Hear me out. I understand how young he is still in his mid-20s, but all I'm saying is he's an amazing player. He's probably a Hall of Famer. But I don't think he's gonna have any more. I don't think there's any higher he can go. His ceiling, he's at right now. Jason Tatum's ceiling is, I said, right here with him right now. Jason Tatum hasn't even hit his ceiling yet.
Has Steph Curry hit his ceiling?
Yeah, he has. He has. I don't see Steph getting any better. Only real guys I see getting better are, Jason Tatum, obviously, and a lot of the younger players. I guess the oldest player I can think of who still has a little bit more to go. What? Aaron Gordon in Orlando? Harrison Barnes maybe in Dallas. When you're talking about a ceiling, how good you're gonna be, for certain guys, they hit that ceiling in their, unless your name is LeBron James.
Well, I don't know.
Unless your name is LeBron James, you normally hit your ceiling within your 6th or 7th year in the league.
I'll take Kyrie Irving's ceiling all day.
Over Jason Tatum's?
I mean, they play 2 different games in 2 different positions. No, I'm just saying.
Romero, as an overall basketball player, if you were to start with a rookie, if you were a general manager,
do I need a point guard or do I need a wing? Do I already have my wing or do I already have my point guard? That's literally like saying, who would I want more, Kobe or Shaq at their peaks?
I take Shaq at his peak. Shaq.
That's hard. Some people took Kobe, and the Lakers ended up taking Kobe.
Yeah.
That's why they.
Whoa! When they chose Kobe over Shaq, Shaq had already hit his peak. It was on a decline. On decline. Shaq at his peak is like 2000. Whereas Kobe Bryant at his peak is probably 2008 at the latest. When you choose Shaquille O'Neal, I'm trying to explain this.
He went to 3 straight finals.
Yes.
08, 09, and 10. He won 2 out of 3.
So you would take Kyrie Irving over Jason Tatum overall in terms of.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, I don't know who I need in that position. I don't know if I'm starting a team and I already have my focal point guard and I'm trying to complete my team and I'm in a new draft and I see this wing guy out there, I don't have a wing yet, I'm going to take Jason Tatum.
No.
But if I already have my wing, and I don't have a point guard, yeah, compare a point guard to me, like who that you would take over Kyrie.
Right now?
Yeah. Steph
Curry, Russell Westbrook.
That's an easy one, Steph.
Russell Westbrook.
We could argue the Russ one.
That one is close. Russell and Kyrie is close.
Yeah, for a whole segment.
Yeah, it could be. That's about it. Steph and Russell. Irving. I'm not saying Irving is an elite. All I'm trying to make during this point is that Jason Tatum's is going to be a better player than Irving ever was. And that's an accomplishment, Rome. That is an accomplishment. Kyrie Irving hit a game-winning shot to win Cleveland their first championship. Irving was the Pippen for LeBron for 4 years. He got tired of it.
Has better handles and I would like to go on record and say I think Kyrie and Steph could be an argument.
Kyrie and Steph?
Kyrie can shoot.
It could always be an argument, but
the handles, I'm giving it to Kyrie.
Well, absolutely, yeah. But in shooting, in pure shooting, it's Steph.
But then who's a better point guard? Point guard.
I think point guards are more so. I think being a good point guard, you have to have better playmaking skills. And I've always seen Irving. Well, no, I've always seen Irving as more of a circus act, and that's not an insult. That's just looking at the way he plays. A bunch of crossovers, a bunch of flashy passes, things of that nature. A bunch of acrobatic layups, a bunch of circus shots. I've always seen Kyrie as more of a circus act. He's an amazing teammate. He can dish the ball, but I think Steph Curry. I'll go on record and say I think Steph Curry is a better leader than Irving is. Easily. And that's not a knock against Kyrie. That's just me seeing what Steph Curry has been able to do. I mean, Kyrie Irving has never led his team to a championship. Well, Steph Curry has. And I understand that championships nowadays aren't the only thing.
If Steph was tagging LeBron, I don't think Steph would have been leading that team either.
How do you mean?
If Steph was playing with LeBron, because you said Kyrie never led his team to a championship, right? But he has one. He has won one. But
are you saying that if Steph Curry was on
LeBron's team, you think he's?
Oh no! Stop! No! Romero. No, continue. I'm sorry. Continue. I'm gonna let you go on this.
LeBron will be the boss.
Yeah, but it's not. Okay. Are you trying to say I think I just heard you say
Steph is older and mentally in a headspace different than Kyrie. So yeah, he's a better leader. But I wouldn't say this is because I wouldn't say it has really anything to do with basketball. Probably just Steph's mental.
Okay, so you're talking about mental. Okay, and that's fair. If you're going mental game, okay, that's fair.
That's also almost 30 years old, while Kyrie is 25 and 26. So you can talk about being a leader. Yeah, but one is literally fresh out of college, and one's been in the league 8-9 years.
Fresh out of college.
I mean, not fresh. I mean, Kyrie played like 1 year, so like.
Yeah.
If Kyrie would have played 4 years, he would be kind of fresh out of college right now.
Your gut feeling. It's the 2019 NBA offseason. You're Kyrie Irving. You're living large. You're the king of Boston. Regardless of how the playoffs and finals went, you walk into Danny Ainge's office. He offers you a max deal. You're a free agent. Do you sign or do you not sign? Are you signing that contract or not?
How far do they go?
Let's say you lose in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, so you don't even make out the East.
Let's say you lose in another Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
But yeah, if they don't get out the East, I think for sure Kyrie will consider leaving. Or if it's, I mean,
let's say this.
I think if Kyrie does leave, I just would lose all respect for him leaving a guy like Jason Tatum.
Let me put it like this.
I would be like, what are you thinking? You love that guy.
Let me put it like this. Let's say you make the NBA Finals and get swept. Are you still signing that contract? No, you're not. No, you're not, Rome. Don't do it to yourself. No, you're not.
Yeah, but it's like, who can if they were to get someone there, then yeah.
With a trade, they don't need to make another trade though. Because to trade, you have to give up.
Well, Kyrie wants to play with someone else.
I mean, if you want to get a Jimmy Butler, you can get him in probably free agency. Depending on how the Timber situation turns out, the only trade you can make that could really, bolster your chance against the Warriors is for AD. And that's a different topic later on, but still, AD is probably the kryptonite for Golden State. I personally believe so. Because, I mean, Golden State, even with their new big in DeMarcus Cousins, no one knows how he's going to rebound off of the Achilles injury.
I'm just saying the Warriors swept AD 1 year in the playoffs.
Very true.
And Steph in a game winner in his face.
I have a sense that Kyrie will leave the Celtics.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Will he join the Knicks? I'm not sure. But will he look... If the Celtics don't walk out... If the Celtics I'll say this: if it's a game 5 in the NBA Finals and they lose, I think he would stay. But
Kyrie and Jimmy Butler would be teammates.
Absolutely.
Mushroom heads. I don't know what team they're going to play for.
One way or the other.
They'll be teammates somewhere. That's all I can say. That's all I know. That's probably the only near guarantee I can say about the 2019 season. If something was to happen and Kyrie's not playing in Boston, he's playing with Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Not in Minnesota and not in Boston.
Absolutely not. No.
So I don't know where, but it wouldn't be either one of those teams. That's probably my biggest takeaway.
Fair enough.
Thank you so much for tuning in to episode numero uno, number 1 of the Triple Double Podcast. Be sure to follow myself, Ashanti DC Ron, and my partner, Romero Hardy Jr. on social media for all possible updates regarding the show. Once again, I thank you. God bless.